guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know it's been a hot sec, it's been a minute, it's been several minutes actually, but all for good reason. I've been putting a lot of work in, not to YouTube, but like in my actual job that like I make money from. I'm trying to make YouTube my actual job that I make money from, but like, you know the deal. Anyway, I am so sorry, but you know what? I'm here now, and that's all that matters. So I asked you guys on TikTok on this video, but should I do a try not to laugh? I asked you which video I should do. I was gonna do a try not to laugh challenge. I asked you guys if you wanted the story time about how I got this, which is also the same story time as the time I got assaulted in 8th grade, because that's why it's there. So you guys wanted to hear the story time, so let's get the story time poppin'. Before we get into the story time, you guys already know the deal. Like this video, subscribe if you haven't, but if you don't want to, like, that's cool too, but like, it'd be really cool if you did. I'm just saying. But without further ado, let's get into the story time, because I know you guys want to know about the time that I got beat the fuck up. I didn't get beat the fuck up. You're just gonna have to keep watching. So this story time takes place in 8th grade, so like 2015. It was like the last few like months, weeks of school. I have to preface this by giving you the description of this girl. For the intents and purposes of this story, we're gonna give her the alias of Bethany. I don't know any Bethanies, so this shouldn't be awkward for anyone that I know. Bethany was a troubled soul. Yikes. Her home situation, I'm going to have to assume that it wasn't the best, just because of the way like she acted and treated people.
Hi.
Hi.
What you doing, beautiful?
What do you think I'm doing?
Sitting on the floor, watching Jane the Virgin.
No, actually. Do you want to say hi?
Make some noise right now for my dog! All-Star
Oh, you're still filming the video?
Yeah.
Yo, what's good? Anybody that want to smoke can get the smoke. Don't talk to my girl. All that good stuff. Well,
Oh my
god.
god. I can't with you. My bad, you guys. My boyfriend just called. Let's get back to this girl. I think she had problems because of the way she treated people. Just to give an example of how messed up she was, at the very end of our friendship, we had a falling out. She texted me and was like, if we're not friends anymore, then there's no reason for me to live. I'm gonna kill myself. Thank God I, like Anna Wood, had seen enough, like, self-help videos and, like, watch out for these signs of a manipulative friend and all that stuff. Like, I know, like, what a manipulative bitch is like. I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to rope me back into the... Like, I can't get into her because I will truly get angry. But she was just, like, a manipulative, psychotic friend. But I only had, like, 3 friends in middle school, and she was one of them, and I didn't want to make that 2 friends because, well, I wanted to have as many as possible, so I put up with her BS both 2 years of middle school because she was one of my 3 friends. Got rid of her by high school, but we were best friends. Like, yeah, she was doing all that stuff, but like in the heat of the friendship, like I was like, I love this girl, I would like do anything for you, like you're my ride or die, like I would do anything for you, right? There was this one day that I forget what we were arguing or fighting about, but we argued and fought about something, and then we made up like that night, like over a phone call or a text or something like that, right? So the next day at school, we like hang out, we like do the whole meeting up in the morning, going to class, like separately, meeting up for lunch, having lunch together, going to class. So like the majority of the story times takes place at lunch. We like had lunch or whatever, and then like she went to the bathroom, I went to my locker, and I was at my locker. It was me, and then my locker neighbor was this guy named Jake. I'm not gonna give him an alias because like he's not, like, he's Jake, okay? Like it's just him, he's there, okay? My other friend, I'm gonna call her Amy, was there. Jake and Amy are there, both at their lockers. We're all at our lockers, it's lunch, we're just trying to get our stuff for our next class, right? Out of nowhere, I'm at my locker, like, okay, so this is the locker, right? I had it open like this. Like this is the open part that you open and close, the combination thing is right here. So I had it open like this. And I was at my locker, like, just looking at, like, what I needed, trying to get my stuff. And then out of nowhere, I hear, hey, Anna. Tell me why this bitch shoved my head into the locker. my best friend. I am so confused in this moment. I'm like, what the hell? Like, is somebody trying to fight? Like, what just happened? Like, out of nowhere, I'm literally at my locker, and then I just get a shove, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm just in shock because, like, I've never been in a fight before. I'm 12 years old. I'm at school. I'm surrounded by, like, these people who aren't my best friends, but, like, I know them, and, like, there's, like, my friend who I just had a fight with, but we made up, and, like, I'm just, like, so many things are going through my head right now. I'm like, what the fuck? And just tears start coming down my face. Not because I'm crying because it hurts, or I'm crying because I'm sad, or I'm crying because my friend just shoved my head into my locker. Because of the pain. Like, you know how, like, when you get your nose pierced, or your tongue pierced, or your ear pierced, and, like, you're not crying because it hurts, but just because it makes your eyes tear, like, the way that it, like, hits your nerves or whatever, like, your eyes just start tearing. That starts happening to me, and I'm like, why are my eyes tearing? And so I'm just like, ow, what was that for? I'm confused. And she was just like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I was just playing. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This is a sharp ass, metal ass, I will cut you ass locker, and you shove my head into it? Are you trying to fight? Are you trying to fight? Jake and Amy are like, oh shit, Anna, are you good? Are you okay? And I'm just like, I don't know. Because my head just got shoved into a locker by this girl who's claiming to be my best friend, and I've just been assaulted. So yeah, there's an issue. I'm not okay. No, of course I'm not. So I was like, it's fine. I just bumped my head into the locker. It's fine. Like, I'm gonna have a little headache for the rest of the day. Hey, Bethany, like, what's up? I'm, like, wincing in pain. I'm like, hey, Bethany. Like, trying to play it off like she didn't just do that shit. So Jake and Amy are like, oh my gosh, like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah. Like, trying to pretend like it doesn't fucking hurt bad. Immediately, like, as I'm trying to play it off that it doesn't hurt that bad, I just feel the worst throbbing sensation in my head. The absolute worst. And I did one of these to see if it was bleeding or not. A bitch was bleeding. I'm just like, I literally say this many words to her. I say 0 words to her. I look at her and I just walk to the nurse. I just go to the nurse. And she starts following me. Are you good? Are you good? You should be walking your ass down to the principal's office because, honey, that's where you're about to be in a couple minutes. Suspended, expelled. You just assaulted a student. Like, what the heck is wrong with you? Oh my gosh, Bethany. Like, calm your ass down. Like, what came over you in that moment that you decided to do that? I'm over here in pain. I'm bleeding. My eyes are tearing. And I'm, like, just making my way down to the nurse. As I'm walking through the hallway, everybody's just, like, turning and looking like, oh my gosh, like, is she okay? Is she good? I ignore everyone. I'm in a straight point A to point B line to the nurse's office. I'm not stopping to say hi to anyone. None of that. I'm going to the nurse. I'm not trying to bleed out on these floors of this school right now. I'm not trying to do it. And we get there and she's like, oh my gosh, what happened? And I'm just like, because at this point I'm actually, like, crying because I do that when I'm, like, aggravated and upset at the same time. And so comes in the doors after me. She was like, oh my gosh, it was an accident, to the nurse, not even to me. She was like, oh my gosh, it was a complete accident. I didn't mean to hurt her. And I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, bitch, don't fucking talk to me. If you say one more word, just might punch you in the face. I just might punch you in the face. I am injured now. I need to go to the ER, the hospital. I'm not here for your excuses. I'm not here for anything you have to say right now because half the shit that comes out of your mouth is bullshit anyway. Excuse my language. This gets me really heated. I was assaulted. Excuse me. The nurse calls home and my dad was out of the country for work and my mom was at home. So they call her. I'm just sitting there waiting for her to come in like, Jesus Christ, is this the end? Because it truly did hurt, like, a lot. Like, I don't know what is, like, behind this in your head that, like, hurts so much. I was putting gauze to my head. Like, it was just not a cute scene for me. I'm just waiting for her to stop talking. And she literally just sits down, like, next to me and we both just sit in silence. And I'm like, you are really psychotic. Go to class. I'm not your friend anymore. I'm not trying to talk. I'm not trying to do any of that. Go to class. But I don't say that because I'm over here in pain. I was just assaulted by you, homie. Anyway, well, my mom gets there. And by this time, Bethany had gone to class. My mom gets there. She picks me up. She's like, oh my gosh, what happened? I don't know. I was just at my locker and someone pushed my head into the locker. They said it was an accident. Now I'm bleeding and that's all that I know. And so she's like, did she really do it by accident? Like, who did this? Like, let's go back. Do you want me to talk to the principal? I'm like, first of all, can we handle one situation at a time? I'm bleeding out. Can we please go to an ER? Thank you. We immediately drive to urgent care. We get there and we're checking in, and the lady at the front desk looks at me and she's just like, okay, like, we'll hurry up for you. We sit down, I have the thing to my head, and I'm just like, of course. Like, why? Why am I still friends with this girl? So the doctor sees me. He says that it's just a minor laceration, but it is kind of pretty deep. So he asked me, like, do you want stitches or do you want, like, surgical glue? And I was like, I'll take the glue, just because I don't want, like, needles in my head, you know what I mean? He just, like, stopped the bleeding, glued it together, and then we were good. Everything was good. On the way, while we're driving home, she calls my dad, and she's like, she tells him the whole situation of what just happened, and then she gives the phone to me. My dad, let me tell you something about my dad. He is very protective, and he doesn't put up with bullshit, like, at all whatsoever, period. So he was infuriated, and I was infuriated. I was just assaulted, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like we're on the same page of, like, what the fuck? He was angry. He was like, I'm gonna come to the school. I'm gonna talk to the principal. Do you know if that girl did it on purpose or not? We're gonna get her parents involved. I was just like, oh my gosh, like, I just want this to be over. We get home. I get to miss the rest of the school day, which I guess is pretty nice. I get home and I just lay in bed like this. Because I can't lie like this because it hurts. Like, it hurt when I, like, laid like this, or when I smiled or laughed or did any type of facial expression whatsoever. It hurt so incredibly bad. I can't even explain to you. It hurt so bad. Before I tell you the next day at school, because I did go to school the next day. If you think about it, when she pushed my head, it went like that. What if, hear me out here, she could have blinded me. That is literally not even an exaggeration. This female could have blinded me. She could have shoved my eye into the corner of that locker. At the force that she did, if it gave me this scar that's still here 4 years later, this girl could have blinded me. And she'd still follow me to the nurse and be like, oh my gosh, like, it's an no. Oh my gosh, why are you so violent? Okay, so the next day at school, even though I was in pain, the support that I got from everyone was just insane because everyone kept asking me if I was okay and I just felt so loved. But, like, no, for real, Jake and Amy, the ones who witnessed it, were like, we were all at our lockers, like, that morning getting our stuff for, like, the whole day. They were like, Anna, what happened yesterday? Are you okay? Like, we're gonna protect you. Like, if she comes around, like, we're gonna form a human chain around you so she can't be around you because this is too much. Like, we know that she's, like, a horrible person and that, like, you guys were friends, but, like, this is, like, no, like, we're not gonna let her do this to you. And I was like, bet, because you're gonna have to hold me back if this bitch comes near me because, like, I'm not playing any more games. So guess who comes up? It's Bethany. She's like, oh my gosh, Anna, are you okay? I'm so sorry. And she tries to hug me. Tell me why. Jake literally gets in between me and her, is like, no. No. I'm just like, and she looks at me as if I'm about to tell him, like, no, it's okay, like, we made up, like, it was an accident, like, you like, don't have to do that for me. I didn't say anything. I'm not gonna complain about that. I'm fine with that. Actually, it's better that he's there for your safety. And then, like, Amy joins him and is like, yeah, like, you just gotta go, girl, like, you just gotta go. And then she leaves. But she's angry. She's so pissed. She's so pissed. Because later that day, she texted me, she was like, why would you let them do that? Like, you should have told them it was a joke. Like, I didn't mean for that to happen to you. Why would you let them believe that I would do that to you on purpose? Why would you let them think that? Oh, I didn't know that being assaulted was my fault. I didn't know that other people witnessing that and them thinking that you did it on purpose was gonna be my fault. Girl, I didn't ask for any of this. You pushed my head into that locker, okay, and I have this because of it. Boggles my mind. She was genuinely upset, like, yelling at me over the phone. Why would you let them believe that I would do that on purpose? You know that I didn't do that on purpose. Like, and then she started, like, from yelling at me to crying. And she's like, I love you so much. Like, I would never do this to you on purpose. Like, oh, you're my best friend. Like, I would never do this to you. You should have told them that I didn't do it on purpose because, like, I obviously didn't. Like, I don't know what I would do without you. Like, oh my God. Are you done?
Are you done? Are you done?
Are you finished? Okay. So from that day forward, it was not cool beans between us. I didn't stop talking to her. Like, we were still friends, I guess you could say. Like, if I saw her, it'd be like, you know, but, like, I wasn't, like, completely ignoring her and all that stuff. But the worst things happened, and there was an even bigger falling out, and we actually stopped being friends a different way, believe it or not. Anyway, that's how I got this scar, this beautiful scar. It used to be a lot worse. It doesn't hurt anymore, obviously, But over the years, it just fades away a little bit every day. And hopefully one day it won't even be there. This girl, Bethany, decided to shove my head into a locker. And it didn't help that we got into that fight or argument a couple days before, because I'm just like, is this because of that? Like, are you still mad? And like, you did this because you're a snake. She says it was by accident, but I'm just like, whatever. I really don't care if she sees this video. You know what you did. Don't know if it was an accident or not. Don't care at this point. Like, I'm at the point in my life where I just don't care. I don't believe it was an accident for a second, because who goes like that when they see someone's like open ass, sharp ass, edged locker and push their head into it? Blows my mind. Thank you, Jake. Thank you, Amy, for standing up for me, and everyone who asked if I was okay and all that other stuff. Thank you. Love you guys. You are real ones. So that's the end of the story time. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You definitely enjoyed this video more than I enjoyed getting my head shoved into a locker. So because of that, you should give this video a like. Thank you for watching. I love you guys to the moon and back infinity times. I mean it when I say it, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.